Hi everyone! Guess what? Google was kind enough to give me access to Gemini 1.5 Pro. That means that I have 1 million tokens to play with, and I thought I'd bring you along for the ride. This is Linda Lawton. I am a Google developer expert for machine learning, among other things. And we are here to play with Gemini 1.5 Pro and see what we can do. One of the issues that I had with Gemini 1.5 Pro is, where do we find enough data to test 1 million tokens? Because let's face it, it's probably been already trained on everything, or books, web pages. What else can you think of that would be that much data? Well, YouTube videos? I don't know. Have they trained it on YouTube videos? I guess they could have. So here's my idea. We're going to use the Data Portability API. The Data Portability API allows you to do a Google takeout of your Google data. I'm going to go ahead and extract all of my Google search history for the last 12 years. Yep, that's a lot of search history. And then we're going to ask it to tell me about this person. Now, while we're going to run this, I thought we'd also discuss the Data Portability API and the security ramifications, in my opinion, of some of this stuff. But let's try it out and see what happens. When you extract your search history from the Data Portability API, it actually gives you a lot of different histories, or a lot of different data anyways. You get video search history, but for this, we're just going to look at my web search history. So I created a little project over on Colab that basically just reads the JSON file that Data Portability API returned to me, and then it turns it into a comma-separated file. And we're going to start there and try and see if we can get Gemini to read it. So here we are over in Gemini, and you can see on the bottom of the page that I do, in fact, have more than 1 million tokens. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it, using the following search history, tell me about this person. And then I'm going to go over my Google Drive account, and I am going to load in that CSV file that we created over with Colab. And we'll see what happens. Now, one of the things that I've noticed is it's actually very slow with loading these files. Now, it may be because I am in Denmark and therefore need to use a VPN to access API Studio, or it could be the fact that I am loading it from Google Drive, and maybe it would be faster if I loaded it locally. I don't know, but there we go. It seems to have failed to load the file. Now, I wonder why. Now, one of the things that we need to remember with Gemini Pro 1.5 is that this is test access. Google is allowing a few people to test this right now. So I think I'm going to have to debug this and figure out what the problem is, because I know it won't load a JSON file. So maybe it's having issues with CSV as well. I don't know. I'll get back to you when I get it to work. Okay, I'm admitting this. I recorded about 30 minutes of me trying to get this to work, and I was not able to get it to work. I finally got it to work, so I'm going to edit out the 30 minutes of trying to debug this, and I'll show it to you when it's working. Okay, so that took a lot longer than I thought it would. It actually took me about a half an hour to figure out what was going on. Apparently, some of the data included an image somehow, and the file, well, Gemini wasn't able to load the file because there was an image in it, which I find very strange, how there could be an image inside of a text file. but I guess it was able to detect it. No, I didn't feel like going through an 8 megabyte file to figure out what was going on. Okay, so here it is actually loading it. So it finally loaded it, and you can see that this 8 megabyte file is actually 620,000 tokens. This is as big as I've been able to test with right now. I've got some other things that I'm going to test with later, but that's for the next video. Now we're going to run it. Now, this is one of the things that I have noticed, and a lot of people have noticed with Gemini 1.5, is that it is slow. We are on 26 seconds now. So let's take some time to discuss the Data Portability API. Now, the Data Portability API lets you extract user data using an API endpoint, but there is at current no information as to what we are allowed to use that data for. So you can ask users to let you download their search history doing exactly what I'm doing right now. Insurance companies could do this and then check out what this person is like. Do we want to, insure them? There's a lot of things that could do that. All right, so now 73 seconds we are, and it's finally returning data to us. Now, I'm not going to read through a lot of this. If you want to pause it, feel free to. It does not return the exact same thing every time you run it. It gives you different data each time, I found. But believe it or not, it's very accurate. It's surprisingly accurate in a lot of things as far as I'm concerned. But it would actually be really good to wonder what a person is like if based upon their search history, because you could actually see that. And this is probably how Google knows what you are like just based upon your search history. It knows that I'm over 30. It knows that I like to search on Amazon and Zalando for purchasing. It knows I live in Denmark and I search on the United States as well. And apparently I'm a hypochondriac and like to search on medical stuff. But that's probably due to the fact that I found out about a year ago that I had high blood pressure. I was doing a lot of searching and research on that. And about 5 weeks ago, I broke my wrist. So I've been doing searching on how to learn to type again after you break your wrist. So this is actually pretty accurate what it can come back with. So this is just one simple use I was able to find to use Gemini 1.5 Pro million tokens. I didn't use all the million, but I used quite a few. And I think this was a decent test for both the Data Portability API and for Gemini to see what it can analyze this data with. I've got another one that we're going to be using my YouTube search history for. So we'll see how that goes after. So I guess that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed checking out Gemini 1.5 Pro with me. And I hope you get access to it as well. Remember, you got to apply for the whitelist, and we'll see how many people Google lets to test it. And it's been fun so far. It's slow, but I expected it to be. We're adding a lot of data. And again, it doesn't work with the API. This only works through AI Studio right now, which is unfortunate. But we've asked, and apparently there's no plans right now to have it work with the API. I guess for at least the next month, we're not going to see it with the API. All right. If you enjoyed this video, as always, please remember to like and subscribe and add a comment below if you have some other large data set that you'd like me to test with, because like I said, I'm kind of out of ideas, but let me know. I'd love to give it a shot. Okay? Bye.